Grove Street. Anyways. Guy. What was I about to say? I'm not here. So, when you're younger, they tell you can't talk to strangers or you're not supposed to because they might be creepers and weirdos. Yes. You get a little older, you kind of stick to that. You don't want to talk to people. Kind of shy. I used to be really, really shy. Still kind of am. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Still shy. Part of it, my nose is itching. I don't know. Anyways. Then you get older, you start going out and having fun, and then you start meeting new people, and that's how someone becomes your friend. You gotta talk to people to get to know them to see if they wanna, if you're all cool as friends or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So you gotta talk to new people. The point I'm trying to make is, that's the video we're about to watch today. Talking to strangers. Instagram link, Twitter link, donation link, description below. Send me dank memes, stories, comments, stupid questions that people ask, all that stuff. Send me all that goody stuff. Send me all that dank stuff. Anyway, I'm done. Talking to strangers. Let's get it.
Let's pretend you get on a bus and it's super crowded. The only spot that's open is between two strangers. So you sit down between two people you never met and everyone is fine. Everyone's keeping to themselves, no one's making eye contact, it's perfect. Sure, your shoulders are touching, but that's just what happens. That's part of the bus going experience, you poor person. But then at the very next stop, aisle seat guy gets off. So now you and window seat guy are sitting right next to each other. But since you're in the middle, you have to be the one to decide, do you move or not? I honestly don't know what the right thing to do in that situation is. I'm conflicted. Because if you move, it would be silently telling the other person, hey, you're disgusting. I can't stand having our shoulders touch any longer, and I'm glad to finally get away from you. Ugh. But on the other hand, if I was the window seat guy, I would want the middle seat guy to become the new aisle seat guy. I wouldn't see moving as rude. I would just want his gross, disgusting body as far away from me as possible.
That's messed up.
That's not rude. But on the other hand, maybe I'm overthinking everything, and most people don't even mind being this close to another human, and they aren't struggling socially, I don't know. Now imagine that same situation, but with urinals. If you're in the middle urinal, do you move halfway through to the other urinal? Because I would. Are you supposed to talk to people when you're sitting
Just got faded. Ha.
You Bro, you would move halfway through peeing? Like, it's not that serious. Real talk. Would one of y'all move mid-pee? Mid-pee? No, you wouldn't. Don't sit up there and try to be funny. You wouldn't do it. You know you wouldn't do it.
inches away from them? I always felt like I should say something, like,
really?
Hey, did you see the game last night? I didn't, I was too busy drawing cartoons. But I realized that this is a two-way street. I'm worried about not talking to someone, but they're not talking to me either. We both agreed that there's this unwritten contract between us that we're not even going to look at each other. It got me thinking about strangers and specifically how I treat them. And how I can make money off of them. Hey-oh! I'm just kidding, that was a joke. For most of my life, I would go out of my way to avoid talking to people. I would stay in my lane, mind my own business, no eye contact. If everyone's using a urinal, I'd have to pee tomorrow. Yes, I'm lonely.
He's like, I have to pee tomorrow.
I'm interacting with strangers more often than I've had to in my entire life. So I've been thinking a lot about strangers. And first of all, I think the word stranger is already an insulting label for someone just because you don't know their name.
Right.
Oh, I don't know this person. They're a stranger. They're strange. I'm the normal one. They're the freaks. They probably murder people with an axe. It's always the go-to profession of a stranger, an axe murderer.
It
The
is.
people you see throughout your day are all humans with their own hopes and dreams, and some of them may hope to kill you, but you'll never know because you didn't ever take the time to get to know them. So I think that the people you see throughout your daily life aren't strangers. They're potential friends. Except for the weird ones, obviously. Stay away from them. And yes, I'm telling you to judge people based on their appearance. They're the ones that chose to wear anime shirts in public, okay? So back to the bus scenario.
No comment on that one. No comment.
So far, there's not a single reason why I should dislike this person, but I don't know why. If you put him and me on a bus next to each other, I want him as far away from me as possible. Just stop touching my shoulder! So that was the last time I took the bus. Unfortunately, that's not the only place you meet strangers.
It's not.
One time I was at Home Depot and I was looking for jumper cables and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I don't know if I'm the only human that's like this, but I will try everything in my power to not talk to a sales associate. I guess it's because I know they get paid minimum wage and their life sucks, and I just want to leave them alone and not make their job any harder than it has to be. But asking employees for help isn't even bothering them that much. In fact, I think it's part of their job. Like, what's the worst thing they're gonna say? Ugh. You don't know where one specific item is? Everyone else knows. Did you even look? They're in the jumper cable aisle, idiot.
The jumper cable aisle. He said the jumper cable aisle. Really? Now, low key though, real low key, I don't like asking for help either. I know when I'm at work and people are asking me for help, I'll be like, I just hope I actually know where it is. But I hate when people don't even look for where they are looking for. One time, a customer literally came in the store, legit happened. I watched them walk in, walk straight up to the counter, and then ask me a question, where is this? At least look for it first.
Look at all those chickens.
Read the signs that's above your head. At least attempt. That's all I'm saying. Everybody want a handout. I'm done.
Feeling desperate, I mustered up what little courage I had and swaggered up to someone wearing an orange vest and said, excuse me, do you know where the jumper cables are? I don't work here. Oh, you don't work here? And then he walked away. And then he waddled away, waddle. And then the very next day, bam, bam, bam. So I think the logical thing to do in that situation would have been to find someone who does work there.
That's a good idea.
But I left the store because I didn't want to run into that same guy again. But I also bought a hammer because I didn't want people to think that I stole something. So... oh yeah. And by the way, if you wear an orange vest to Home Depot, just expect people to ask you for help. Same goes for people who wear red shirts at Target.
Right.
You'd think I'd learn from my mistakes, but no, I have a bunch more examples. When my book came out, my publisher said that it was going to be carried at Barnes & Noble. And I thought that was super duper cool and wanted to see my book in the wild. Not to buy or anything, just to have a look at. So I took my friend Adam from Something Else YT, and we went to the local Barnes & Noble and started our search. We looked in the humor section, didn't find it. Then we checked the new release section, it wasn't there either. Then we looked at the best-selling section, then the religious section, but we couldn't find the book anywhere. So either the publisher lied, or they had already sold out. But just to be sure, I asked one of the workers, hey, do you guys have a book by The Odd Ones Out? He kind of looks like this. And the worker typed something out on his computer and said, oh yeah, we got those in the back, we just haven't put them out yet. So then he went to the back room, brought out a copy and handed it to me saying, here you go, kid. And I thought, well, frick. I can't just hand it back to the guy and say, oh no, that's okay. I didn't want to buy it, I just wanted to have a look at it. Do you know how inconvenient that would be? So the only less awkward option I could think of was to buy my own book. And you know what? I'd get a couple cents back from this purchase, so it wouldn't have been a total loss. But Adam, being the more sensible one, said,
dude, this is ridiculous. You have to complain.
So then he went to the worker and said,
so he actually wrote this book. He just wanted to get a look at it, like, in the wild.
And the worker said, oh, that's so cool. Do you want to sign our copies? And then I thought, well, hold on. You're not even going to ask me for my ID? How do you know I actually wrote this book and I'm not some guy trying to deface someone else's? And then the guy gave me a whole stack of my books and I signed them all. Last story before I go. I was in the hallway.
That's so weird and awkward.
Potential friend crossed paths. He said, hello. And I was going to respond with, hello, and how's it going? But I combined the two and ended up saying, how? And then I jumped out a window and fell to my death. I can't rationalize that behavior. Maybe I spend too much time on the computer and I'm not used to looking at real people's faces, but I'm trying to change. Don't get me wrong, going to conventions and meeting fans has helped me a lot with talking to people. Granted, those conversations are usually one-sided and a real stranger won't already know who I am, but they've still helped me. Now, you might be expecting me to give you advice on overcoming social anxiety.
You said how.
But if you watch this video, you know I'm not the most qualified to give that advice, but I'll try my best. I know it's hard to feel confident and I'm still working on it, but you have to understand that We're all people, and we all have things that we're struggling
We're
with.
all people.
And in reality, we're not
Life.
all watching or caring about every little thing that other people do. We're all too busy worrying about what other people think of us. So with enough practice and believing in yourself, you can show the world your true colors, and I think you'll find that people are a lot nicer than you think. So if you're the middle seat guy on the bus and you have to decide whether or not
The
to
middle
move,
seat guy on the bus.
do whatever you want. No one cares. Just stop touching my shoulders. Hey everyone, I know it's been a while.
Alright. Here, if I was on a bus, I actually done this before. I was the middle guy. And when was the last time I rode a bus? I know this happened before. I was the middle guy on a bus, or I was the middle guy. The other guy left. I kind of scooted over a little bit. I did the middle. I didn't go all the way because I didn't want them to think that, oh wow, you think I'm gross. Just like he said. Ironically, that's funny that he says that because actually it's pretty true. I didn't slide all the way over, but I didn't stay there. I scooted over a little bit. So we still have more space that I wanted space anyway, but I'm not too far away to make it seem like I'm getting away from you. See, it's angles you gotta work. You gotta work angles there's angles you gotta work.
Boy, if you don't get
Work, anyway. Hey! I messed it up. Like it's up. I mess it up. Like and sub, Instagram link, Twitter link, donation link in the description below. I know one of y'all have a weird quirky story like that y'all have done. I know for sure. I want to hear it. If you feel like typing it out in the comment section about your story, I definitely want to hear it. Because that's going to be funny. I know I keep shaking the camera. I apologize. Yes, comment below a weird, awkward moment similar to this, I guess. Talking to strangers or talking to new people. Why would you wear an orange vest at a Home Depot and then you don't? I mean, but I guess you're wearing an orange vest to go do some construction work, which is why you're at Home Depot. But still, I understand what he's saying. Some people are just rude. And he just walked off. Some people are just rude. I used to care what they thought until I realized I think I'm a pretty cool dude. So, they don't like me. Whatever, I don't care. Once I realized that, I've been happy ever since. So, anyway, it's not about me. It's about you guys. I love y'all. Adios, sayonara. See you later. DM me on Twitter and Instagram.
Now imagine that same situation, but with urinals. If you're in the middle urinal, do you move halfway through to the other urinal? Because I would.
Bro, you would move halfway through peeing? Like, it's not that serious.